Hey, I'm Midnight. I've been coaching in Deadlock for over a year, and recently in my coaching sessions, I was coaching an Eternus player, and I uploaded this video. Now, it is very normal for all of my videos to get comments of no matter what the video is. You can go to any video on my channel, and there is a comment saying, how is this guy this rank of some guy who's hard stuck 2 ranks below, right? The comments around that were not unexpected, but at one point, he executed to a jungle camp. And the comments around that were where I think there's a real fundamental misunderstanding of Deadlock. I saw so many comments saying like, I have never died to a jungle camp. Eternuses don't execute to a jungle camp, which this is the main comment, and the reason that this whole video happened was because this guy, I just said self-report and he got rage baited for like 20 comments. And obviously the idea that Eternus players don't execute to jungle camps is just unequivocally untrue and idiotic. I've watched one of my friends who's E6, second best IV for 7, 8, 9 months at this point. Hi Docker, I'm sure you know him, I don't know why I'm asking up his credentials, execute to so many jungle camps, it is unreal. And the reason this is such a common occurrence and the correct way to play Deadlock is you should be limit testing as much as possible. You are not playing the game correctly if you are not limit testing. Now, there's a lot of different types of limit testing, but I think first off, because this is what started this video, we're going to talk about farm. Now there's a couple ways to limit test in farm. We know the first one, which is just, can my HP manage to farm me this camp? I'm 1 HP, can I squeeze out this camp? And you should try. If you don't know, if you're like 200 HP, obviously this wouldn't be with a tier 3, but if you're 200 HP and you're trying to farm like this medium camp, and you don't know if you can farm it and not die, you should try. There's only one way to find out, and it's doing it, so you should try. And if you die, you just learn from that. You learn, okay, when I'm playing Warden and I'm like 10k souls on 200 HP, I can't min-max a jungle camp without my shield up. I can't full farm the jungle camp without the shield up. Because that's something you need to be learning and something you need to be testing and constantly limit testing. There's also the second version of limit testing, which is, can I greed this camp before the wave reaches wherever, or the wave reaches my tower, the wave reaches my walker, the wave crashes into me. Can I clear this camp in time? And again, if you don't know, you should try. You are going to make a lot of mistakes, and a lot of the time you're going to do these things and they're going to take the tower because you farmed this too long, or you're going to execute to the camp. But that's the correct way to play Deadlock. If you watch good players, they are constantly limit testing and making these mistakes. Obviously with super high elo, it gets less and less extreme if you're not really going to see someone like lose a wave to a tower because they know how efficiently their character farms. You might see them be like 2 seconds later than they thought they would be, and it's a lot harder to pick up unless you're like really and truly actively looking for it. But even if they're more minute, high level players do still currently do these things, and you do still see high level players execute. Again, I've watched High Docker execute 1,000 different times, but especially when they were learning the game, like I'm sure you are if you clicked on this video, they were limit testing even more, because the most efficient way to improve is to limit test at every turn. The next big one is calling objectives. I'm sure most people know that a big difference between low elo and high elo is just how much mid is called, how many times urns are called. Or just, we see 3 on the left side, let's go split push this walker, whatever. Now I'm not going to keep beating into the ground, there's only one way to learn these things, so I'll start skipping over that part in the spiel. If you don't know, can we do this mid? Well, 2 of them have 15 seconds on their respawn timers, but blue wave is shoved into us so they have a quick zip back, and we haven't been monitoring their boost timers. Try it, and if it goes wrong, just analyze why. If you need to, you can go into the VOD and look exactly why did this go wrong. And also keep in mind, every play that doesn't work doesn't mean it was fundamentally wrong. Maybe you called a good mid, the mid was good, you had time, but your stupid page player just like ran across the map and went to buy for like 20 seconds before coming to the fight, and she showed up late and she didn't have ult for rejuve dropping, or she just wasn't there to melee the mid boss and kill it fast enough. That'll happen a lot with urn fights too, where you say you like are putting someone inside, you see a response, you know you have a player advantage on urn run, it's still a good urn run, but people just play the fight on a micro level. Sometimes ults can factor into this, like you're always going to win a 5v6 if they have like Lash, Dynamo, Warden ult, and you're out of ult, so look for stuff like that. But just look at the fight or the call and ask, why did this go wrong, and learn from it, and just try again next time, because that's the way you can learn in 200 hours what it takes most players 1,000 hours to learn. The next major category of this is just how you build. If you're very ahead in a lane, can you afford to build 2 greens very early before anything else? If I'm winning by a lot, can I afford to go just pure purple items and not build a single green, and just find out if you're dying quickly, you need a green. If it's working out and you're just allowed to snowball your lead, that's great. I will give general advice if you shouldn't put 2 pure defensive items or like resistance items before you get a lot of your major spikes, because you still need a form of damage. And generally when you're behind, you should be itemizing offensively, and when you're behind, you should be itemizing defensively. But just in general, trying things like, hey, I don't know what's happening. I'm into this super scary Shiv Kelvin lane. Can I just go spirit shielding, get extra regen, get healing right, get monster rounds, and just slow play the lane as long as humanly possible or do I have to start building more offensive items to survive? Especially when you're making a build, which I do generally recommend once players hit the Oracle or Phantom standpoints, they start, if not making their own build, at least starting to modify builds they like. Just try things. If you're like, I don't know, let's see if Radiant Regen is good on Warden, just buy it. Maybe it isn't, maybe it's terrible. You can check the statistics screen after. You can look at your VOD, which I also might make a whole how to self-analyze or self-VOD review yourself video. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. I'm on the fence about making it. It seems good, but I'm not quite sure exactly how I want to go about it. Actually, I take that back. Watch this video by Baxle, which is his how to self-VOD review yourself. And he's the player who I was VOD reviewing. He's an Eternus 4 player. He's very good, a very good educational content creator. I think he's very underground for his talent. His good game knowledge, all of that, and he had to the whole wave of emissary players that happened on the last video. I just feel like I should shout him out for that, and this is a good way to work it in. And last note for this weird kind of random spontaneous, I don't really have this scripted out and I'm just kind of talking guide, but I got reverse rage baited by an Oracle player is PvP limit testing. Now, when you are learning a character, I recommend you run it down with them. I don't mean that in like the true run it down way, but if you're learning a character, especially in laning stage, the only way you're going to improve micro is by limit testing. If you watch good players, there's something called a limit testing stage whenever you're learning a new character, or especially you'll see them call it that, or them when they're playing a new character, which is just when they are constantly running at the enemy and just figuring out, hey, can I do this? One way to find out, you're going to lose a lot. Ido did this on Shiv, this was probably like a couple weeks ago, where he was learning Shiv, and I think his first 20 games on Shiv, he lost 18 in a row. But now, you look at that man in Shiv, excluding today's DLNS, but you look at him on Shiv in solo queue, and he looks like an actual monster. And he did in 20 games what it would have taken him in 100 games if he kept like a 50% win rate just by playing Shiv kind of safe and like not really limit testing or figuring things out. Again, TLDR of this guide is the best way to improve. It's just to say, let's figure out, does this work? I don't know, let's just try it. And again, I especially recommend it when you're learning a character. The first 20 games, or the first 10 games, you should just be constantly limit testing no matter what the case. And then after the first 10 games, when you start to get a good handle on the micro of your character, I recommend you start limit testing more. Like, you should still limit test in laning stage, probably for your first, like, let's say 25, 30 games, you should be limit testing really hard. But you can tune down your mid and late game limit testing. And then after you've done that, you can start playing the character at a more, like, reasonable pace. And also, if you watch me play a random character, for example, I think Warden's actually good right now. I think he's just not good in Eternus because people know how to move low and use Capacitor. But if you're not Eternus, I think this character is very, very good from a solo queue standpoint. So I've been spamming him and I just run at the enemies. I had a game, my last game, it was actually, I think it was 2 games before this. I went 1-8 on Warden, because I was just running at the enemies and figuring stuff out, but I walked away from that game super knowledgeable about the character. And all the knowledge I got towards the limits and min-max of this build and what this build can and can't do and why Shiv and Kelvin is such a fundamentally broken combo. Like, I got all that knowledge and I just have it in future and I can use it in future much more if I just kind of like sat under my tower and shot them because I was scared and threw flasks. Now again, this guide was off the cuff. I don't even know if it's going to make 8 minutes, but again, I just got reverse rage baited, so here we are. If you liked the video, you know what to do. If you want more guides like this that are just kind of like, hey, these are my thoughts. I mean, I did have like a couple scripts. I had 4 bullet points of just what I want to talk about. So if you like this very vague, I'm just going to throw this together. This video will take me an hour. I'm not even going to like put engaging gameplay. I'm just ADHD jumping around the map, not even because I want the content to be better or to look better, but because I can't, like, I just gotta fidget, and this game is a great game to fidget in while I'm talking. If you want more stuff like this, let me know, because, again, this is new. Maybe this will flop, maybe it won't. Either way, to the guy who left that comment, you are so, so incredibly dumb, and I need you to understand that. Keep it real.